Hi everyone, we're just going to talk about some different approaches to practice here. So they're theoretical but also practical approaches. One of them we can talk about is cognitive restructuring, but it's sort of more of a psychological influence to these approaches when we talk about cognitive restructuring. So it's the idea that if we change our thoughts, that will change how we behave, I suppose, and then that in hand will change our situation. Um, Now, that's true to an extent, but it doesn't always acknowledge the structural disadvantages that people are facing. So, other ways of thinking about these approaches is that they're used a lot with things like CBT, problem solving, when we look at coping skills, all of those kinds of things as well. They're really based on the assumption that we have distorted thinking, distorted beliefs, and those thoughts affect our emotions and behaviour. So you can see they're very psychological kind of ideas. And if we change how we think about things, we'll change how we act and behave and how we feel about things, I suppose. And so that the problem's really caused by our own interpretation of ourselves, of others, of a situation. Now, that certainly can be true, but it's definitely not true all of the time. So within this, we talk about schemas. We talked about this a little bit when we talked about trauma, so that positive or negative memories are at play. They're helping us develop how we think about a situation. We also talk about automatic thoughts, or the thoughts that always spring to mind, or sometimes we have intrusive thoughts, repetitive thoughts, and self-talk, the idea that if we engage in a different kind of self-talk, that we might be able to change how we feel and act about a sort of situation, that we have this sort of unconscious conversation happening all the time as well. We also have this idea of a cognitive distortion, so this idea that the way we're thinking about things is perhaps wrong or incorrect, and that's impacting how we're able to cope and work with the situation. So all or nothing, it's got to be like this or it won't work at all. So the perfectionists out there, we like to think like that, jumping to conclusions about what the other people are thinking or doing, pretending we can read the mind of other people, personalizing things. Oh, why did they talk like that to me in the shop? They must hate me. Or generalizing things sometimes can be a problem. It's a pretty basic idea. Some of these ideas here is that we'll allow people to engage in some self-talk. So changing that kind of process of talking and thinking about things. So education about our thinking processes, our cognition, that will help people identify unhelpful beliefs. So you can do that through talking through scenarios with people, or actually giving people homework. That's quite common in CBT. So a worksheet that they might go through so that they can sort of identify where their thinking is going potentially a little bit haywire. I mean, the strengths of this approach really is that we would just use parts of this approach or techniques as a social worker, not all of them, I suppose. So that can be important. It works well with things that are very grounded, that are around crisis or task-centered. It does have a good evidence base with adults. What I would say is when someone presents with a lot of complexity or even complex trauma, this is not always going to meet their needs here, because it's good for single or kind of more pointed issues that you want to look at, rather than more broad kind of topics, I suppose. Look, is it an objective kind of approach? I would sort of say these psychological approaches, they come from a medical discourse. So the people who engage in these kinds of processes are people who can sit through the process. A lot of people drop out of these kinds of cognitive behavioural type processes because they can't meet appointments, they can't come to attend sessions, etc., etc. So we need to kind of question if, this is always a good way for us to think, and maybe question our discourse around these ideas, I suppose. Things to be importantly looked at when we're using cognitive restructuring is that they could be internalized. They could be these thoughts could be about our stigma, they could be about a trauma background. So just be really mindful that these irrational thoughts might be really rational responses to traumatic or difficult situations for people. So most of us probably have some sort of body image issues. We know that that is irrational, but we still engage in them because that's the society we live in. There's a lot of internalized stigma and oppression around bodies and appearance and all of those kinds of things. So we don't want to attribute blame to people because of their oppression, but we can easily walk down that path with some of these cognitive restructuring approaches. So, it's very much based on the worker client side of dynamic, so that can be a little bit problematic as well.